In the quiet hours before dawn, when the world holds its breath between night and day, a young seeker finds himself drawn to the ancient practice of reflection. The mosque's gentle atmosphere surrounds him as he begins to question the deeper meanings of existence, unaware that this moment marks the beginning of a profound journey that will transform his understanding of life itself. His fingers trace the elegant curves of Arabic letters, each word carrying weight beyond mere ink and paper. The sacred text speaks of clay and breath, of divine intention woven through human existence. As he reads about the creation of Adam from dust, he begins to understand that his own life carries meaning far greater than he had ever imagined in his ordinary daily routine. Returning to the world after his spiritual encounter, he finds himself seeing everything differently. The city's relentless pace now seems to mask deeper questions about purpose and destiny. People rush past him like rivers in flood, each carrying their own burdens and dreams, yet few seeming to pause and consider the ultimate destination of their journey through life. Night brings solitude and deeper contemplation. Surrounded by volumes of human wisdom, he wonders about the connection between ancient revelation and modern understanding. His reflection in the glass shows a changed person, someone who can no longer accept surface explanations for life's complexities. The city's artificial stars remind him of the real heavens above, mentioned so often in the sacred text. Family love surrounds him, yet he feels an inexplicable distance growing between his inner world and his daily life. Their conversations about work, weather, and weekend plans now seem to belong to a different dimension of existence. He struggles to bridge the gap between their practical concerns and the profound questions that now dominate his consciousness, feeling like a stranger in his own familiar environment. Among the silent residents of this final resting place, he contemplates the temporary nature of earthly existence. Each name and date represents a complete human journey, from birth to death, yet what lies beyond? The sacred text had spoken of resurrection and judgment, concepts that now take on urgent personal significance as he realizes his own mortality in the gathering dusk. Joining the community in worship, he experiences the unity of shared faith and purpose. The Imam's words about accountability and the day of judgment resonate deeply within him. Surrounded by fellow believers, he begins to understand that his spiritual journey is not meant to be walked alone, but as part of a larger human family, all seeking guidance through life's complexities. In the realm of academic learning, he discovers fascinating parallels between scientific discovery and spiritual revelation. The professor speaks of the universe's expansion, echoing verses about cosmic creation. Quantum uncertainty mirrors the mystery of divine will. His education now serves not to diminish faith, but to reveal the intricate design underlying both the physical and spiritual dimensions of existence. Looking deeply into his own eyes, he searches for the essence of his being beyond physical appearance. The water's cleansing had refreshed his body, but what about his soul? The sacred text had described humans as more than mere flesh and blood, containing something divine breathed into clay. This reflection becomes a gateway to understanding his true nature and purpose. In the marketplace's vibrant energy, he witnesses the full range of human experience. Some laugh with joy, others argue over prices, children run between stalls while elders share wisdom. Each interaction reveals different aspects of human nature described in the sacred text. He begins to see how divine guidance applies to every moment of daily existence, from the smallest transaction to the largest life decisions. Nature's serenity provides the perfect backdrop for contemplating the balance between worldly pursuits and spiritual growth. The lake's surface, disturbed by wind yet returning to calm, mirrors the human soul's journey through trials and tranquility. As fish occasionally break the surface, he reflects on how divine signs appear throughout creation for those who have eyes to see and hearts to understand. Witnessing human vulnerability and illness, he contemplates the fragility of physical existence and the strength of spiritual resilience. The elderly patient's acceptance of mortality and faith in divine mercy teaches him about true courage. Medical science can heal the body, but the sacred text offers healing for the soul, addressing fears that no amount of medication can reach. From this elevated vantage point, he gains perspective on his place in the grand design. The expansive view mirrors the broadened understanding that revelation brings to human consciousness. Just as the earth's beauty unfolds before him, so too does the realization that every mountain, valley, and ocean serves a purpose in the divine plan that includes his own journey toward ultimate truth. Late into the night, he delves deeper into the sacred text's teachings about personal responsibility and moral accountability. Each verse illuminates aspects of human behavior that require conscious choice between right and wrong. The knowledge that every action, no matter how small, contributes to his eternal record transforms his understanding of daily decisions from mere preferences to profound spiritual investments. His newfound understanding compels him to share these revelations with others who seek meaning in their own lives. Friends from various walks of life gather around him, drawn by his transformed perspective and genuine concern for their well-being. The sacred text had emphasized the importance of guiding others toward truth, and he now feels the weight of this responsibility in his interactions with those he cares about. Practical application of spiritual principles manifests in daily acts of kindness and service to others. His concern extends beyond personal growth to encompass the welfare of his entire community. The sacred text's emphasis on caring for parents, neighbors, and the less fortunate now guides his behavior in concrete ways that demonstrate how revelation translates into reality through compassionate action. When called upon to testify about matters of truth and justice, his commitment to honesty reflects the sacred text's emphasis on integrity in all circumstances. The courtroom's formal atmosphere underscores the gravity of speaking truth, even when it might be easier to remain silent. His willingness to stand for principle, regardless of personal cost, demonstrates how spiritual conviction influences practical decision-making in challenging situations. In nature's cathedral by the sea, he finds the perfect environment for spiritual reflection and connection with the divine. The ocean's vastness reminds him of the infinite mercy and knowledge that surrounds human existence. Each wave's rhythm mirrors the cycles of life and death, trial and relief, that the sacred text describes as part of the human journey toward ultimate fulfillment. His spiritual understanding translates into concrete service for society's most vulnerable members. The sacred text's emphasis on caring for the poor and hungry becomes reality through his hands distributing food and his heart offering dignity to those who have lost hope. Each interaction reminds him that true faith manifests not in words alone, but in actions that reflect divine compassion for all creation. His spiritual journey enriches rather than separates him from his family relationships. Where once he felt distant from their practical concerns, now he can offer wisdom that addresses both worldly needs and eternal purposes. The sacred text's teachings about family harmony and mutual support become living examples in his daily interactions, showing how revelation enhances rather than diminishes human connections. Sharing knowledge with the next generation, he realizes the sacred text's emphasis on education and guidance for all humanity. The children's open minds and trusting eyes remind him of his own journey from ignorance to understanding. His responsibility extends beyond personal growth to nurturing others' spiritual and intellectual development, ensuring that divine guidance continues to illuminate human paths through future generations. His spiritual principles extend into civic participation and social responsibility. The sacred text's teachings about justice and righteous leadership influence his political choices and community involvement. He understands that individual spirituality must manifest in collective efforts to create societies that reflect divine values of fairness, compassion, and moral integrity for all citizens regardless of their backgrounds. His spiritual maturity enables him to provide genuine comfort to others facing life's challenges. The sacred text's promises about divine presence during trials now become reality through his supportive companionship. His ability to offer hope without false promises, and strength without minimizing pain, demonstrates how revelation provides practical tools for navigating human suffering with grace and faith. Witnessing death's finality, he reflects on the sacred text's teachings about the temporary nature of earthly life and the certainty of resurrection. His grief is tempered by faith in divine justice and mercy. The funeral's solemn atmosphere reinforces his understanding that every human journey leads ultimately to judgment, making present choices about faith and action eternally significant. His quest for truth leads him to examine various religious and philosophical traditions with scholarly objectivity. The sacred text's claims about universal guidance prompt him to investigate how different cultures have sought divine connection throughout history. This comparative study strengthens rather than weakens his conviction, revealing consistent themes of moral accountability and spiritual purpose across human civilizations. His external appearance now reflects internal transformation through consistent application of spiritual principles. The traditional clothing represents not mere ritual but conscious identification with divine guidance. Looking at his reflection, he sees someone who has integrated revelation into reality, whose actions align with beliefs, and whose character embodies the moral excellence described in the sacred text through dedicated practice. His spiritual leadership manifests in organizing community worship and fellowship during sacred observances. The monthly fast-breaking meal brings together people from various backgrounds in shared devotion and mutual support. His organizational skills and genuine care for others' spiritual well-being demonstrate how individual transformation enables service to the broader human community seeking divine guidance. In nature's beauty, he finds inspiration for expressing spiritual insights through creative arts. The sacred text's eloquent language motivates him to explore how human creativity can reflect divine artistry. His poetry attempts to capture the profound emotions and insights gained through spiritual journey, offering others access to revelation's transformative power through artistic expression that touches both heart and mind. His spiritual journey enhances rather than conflicts with scientific inquiry, as both seek truth through different methodologies. The sacred text's encouragement to study creation motivates his research into natural phenomena. His scientific discoveries reveal intricate design that confirms rather than contradicts divine guidance, demonstrating how revelation and reason can work together to expand human understanding of existence's mysteries. His willingness to share his spiritual journey with others creates bonds of mutual encouragement and accountability. The sacred text's emphasis on community support becomes reality through these gatherings where believers strengthen each other's faith. His openness about struggles and victories demonstrates how revelation provides practical guidance for navigating life's challenges while maintaining connection with the divine source of strength and wisdom. Contemplating the universe's vastness, he reflects on the sacred text's descriptions of cosmic creation and divine sovereignty over all existence. The star's distant light reminds him of Revelation's timeless guidance penetrating through darkness toward truth. His small physical presence contrasts with his spiritual connection to infinite mercy, demonstrating how human beings can transcend material limitations through conscious relationship with the divine source of all creation. His spiritual maturity enables him to guide others through their own journeys of faith and self-discovery. The sacred text's emphasis on teaching and mentoring becomes reality through his patient counseling of those seeking direction. His personal experience with Revelation's transformative power provides practical insights for helping others navigate the transition from spiritual seeking to lived reality of divine guidance in daily existence. His spiritual principles manifest in professional commitment to justice and protection of the innocent. The sacred text's emphasis on standing up for truth influences his legal career and advocacy for those who cannot defend themselves. His courtroom presence demonstrates how Revelation provides moral foundation for professional excellence, ensuring that his pursuit of justice aligns with divine standards of fairness and compassion for all humanity. His spiritual understanding deepens his appreciation for family wisdom and intergenerational values. The sacred text's emphasis on honoring parents becomes reality through his patient attention to their stories and guidance. His presence brings comfort to their later years while he gains insights from their life experiences, demonstrating how Revelation strengthens rather than diminishes natural human bonds of love and respect across generations. His spiritual transformation provides confidence and peace as he faces life's transitions and uncertainties. The sacred text's promises about divine guidance during difficult times enable him to embrace new challenges without fear. His farewell with family shows how Revelation provides emotional stability and spiritual strength that enhances rather than diminishes human relationships, even during separations necessary for personal growth and service to others. His spiritual journey has reached a stage of deep integration where revelation and reality flow together seamlessly. The sacred text's teachings about finding peace through remembrance of the divine have become living experience rather than mere intellectual understanding. His serene presence demonstrates how consistent application of spiritual principles transforms human consciousness, creating inner tranquility that influences all interactions and decisions with wisdom and compassion. His complete spiritual transformation enables him to inspire others through sharing his authentic journey from seeking to finding, from questioning to understanding. The sacred text's emphasis on calling people to divine guidance becomes reality through his powerful testimony and practical wisdom. His presence on stage demonstrates how personal revelation can become universal inspiration, helping others navigate their own transitions from spiritual darkness toward enlightenment. His spiritual journey continues beyond initial transformation into ongoing growth and deeper understanding. The sacred text's emphasis on continuous remembrance and gratitude becomes reality through his daily practices of reflection and documentation. His commitment to lifelong learning and spiritual development demonstrates how revelation provides not just momentary enlightenment but sustained guidance for navigating life's endless opportunities for moral and spiritual advancement toward ultimate fulfillment.